human into animal. Prabhupada says they are turning human civilization into animal life. That is their advancement. That they think that is their advancement. So it's all a serve. It's all sense gratification.
Right.
Without any reference to scriptures or any reference to getting free from this cycle of birth and death. Just whatever pleases the senses the most.
Yes.
And then they become animals in their next births.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Okay, let's continue with. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. It's little.
Maybe if the screen is just the big central box and none of the other.
Is it okay if we make?
Yes, make it big.
Sure.
Yeah, make it small.
Is it okay for you, or we have to do bigger here? No? What do you like?
It's okay.
It's okay?
Since you can see from this, okay with me.
See all that stuff on the outside of the box? Can't the whole screen just be what's inside the box? There's no way to make
It is. It is
There
missing.
is a simple screen. Full screen?
No, I think just
The full screen, you know?
Maharaj was made to back.
We don't need to see the boxes on the left or the boxes on top.
Bro, there is full screen.
You can zoom in.
Is it okay? Just you cancel this. Maybe it was important for you. Is it? Is it okay
Just
or
use
not?
the arrow key.
Yeah, let's see if we can show it. People will see this.
Is it that you wanted, or you wanted? Is it that you want this?
No, I just, if our professor is gonna show us what's in that big box, there were 4 or 5 things in that big box. Yeah, like that.
Yes.
Like full screen.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. And now it's readable.
Okay. Thank you.
That ain't it. Thank you very much.
This is max doctor.
Thank you.
The instruction of Sri Upanishad is better explained in the Bhagavad Gita, sometimes called the Gita Upanishad, the cream of all the Upanishad. The Bhagavad Gita, the personality of God, says that no one can attain the state of nice karma. Nice karma. Or akarma without beginning the prescribed duties mentioned in the Vedic literature. The Vedic literature can regulate the working energy of the human being in such a way that we can gradually realize the authority of the Supreme Being. When one realizes the authority of the personality of Godhead, it is to be understood that he has attained the stage of positive knowledge. At this purified stage of life, where the mode of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, cannot act, one is enabled to work on the basis of nice karma, or work which does not bind one to the cycle of birth and death. Factually, no one has to do anything more than to render devotional service to the Lord. In the lower stages of the stage of life, however, one cannot at once adopt the activities of devotional service, nor can one completely stop reactionary work. An ordinary man wants to work for his own sense enjoyment. And when the principle of sense enjoyment is extended from the individual to include the collective society, nation, or humanity in general, it assumes various attractive names such as altruism, socialism, communism, nationalism, humanitarianism, etc. These are certainly very attractive forms of karma bandha. The bondage of one's own work. But the Vedic instruction of Sri Isopanishad is as follows. If you actually live for any of the above isms, make them God-centered. Make them God-centered. God-centered activities are evaluated in the Bhagavad Gita as being so rich that even a little bit of them can save one from the greatest danger. The greatest danger of life is to glide down again into the evolutionary cycle of birth and death. If some way or other a man misses the spiritual opportunity offered by his human form of life, and thus glide down again into the evolutionary cycle, it must be considered the most regrettable incidents, although a foolish man cannot see it due to his defective senses. Sri Isopanishad advises us therefore to exert our energy in the Isavasha spirit, and in that engagement we may wish to live for many, many years. Otherwise, one's long life is no better than that of a tree, which is also a living being, and which lives for hundreds and hundreds of years. There is no point in living a long life like the trees, or breathing like the bellows, or begetting children like the hog and the dog, or eating like the camel. Even a humble life with God-centered activities is more valuable than the colossal hoax of a so-called altruism or socialism without any relation to God. Such God-centered activities, even though half finished, are still good for the executor, because they will guarantee him the human form of life in his next birth. In this way, he can have another chance to improve his position on the path of liberation. Okay. Mantra 3. Consequence of not following the law. Asuryana mate loka andena tamasa brita tamste pratyabhigachanti yeke chakmahano janaha. So I can read the translation.
Pillar of the soul, whoever he will, must enter into the planets known
Excuse-
as the
excuse-
worlds of the
What? Yeah. Thank you.
The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance.
Oh, very good. Thank you. The killer of the soul. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said one who says he's killing or being killed is a fool. Is it true, Bhagavad Gita? Is it true? Is it true that is what I say is in the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
And this verse is saying what? The killer of the soul. The killer of the soul. Contradiction.
Is it suicide?
Hmm?
Is it suicide?
I'm asking, is it not contradiction? Bhagavad Gita said, one who said I'm killing or being killed is a fool. And this verse here is saying that the Atmaha means a killer of the soul. So what do you understand by that? A killer of the soul.
Right. So, although it's killer of the soul, these two statements are not in contradiction with each other, because one who's thinking that they are killing their soul, absolutely, they are unaware of the eternality of the soul. And for someone who is killing their own self, it's not an absolute death, but to put the soul, which is naturally eternal and full of bliss, in artificial imposition of birth, death, disease, and old age, is like killing the self, because it's not the natural state of the self. It's not an absolute death, but nityabadha, eternally conditions. So it's as good as death, unless he kills himself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. The killer of the soul, whoever it may be, must enter into the planet known as the worlds of the faithless. Killer of the soul.
Here killing means the accumulation by the pure soul. If we are killing the grossly things, that killing, this word killing is indicates, I guess.
Okay,
Killing
thank
of
you.
Soul
Thank
means doesn't mean that the permanent eternity we are killing. We are killing their temporary things. That killing, I think, it indicates.
Which are the temporal things?
Temporary, every grossly things are temporary. So
Okay. So if I cut off your head now, that's okay?
that's what this killing is indicated here. That's not okay. That's what this killing is indicated.
Kamsa said, my dear Vasud, I'm not the one who killed your children. I'm not. It's providence. Who can go against providence? Just accept that providence. But he is going to kill someone because he was told he's going to be killed. But he's speaking this philosophy. He's speaking this nonsense philosophy. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, Prabhu.
The aim of human birth is going back to Godhead. So killer of the self here is we are not utilizing the privileges what we have got as a soul. We are given a chance to going back to Godhead, and we are not utilizing the privileges. So we are killing that soul.
Very good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. What is this? Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
When I think of killing the soul, I think of a type of death for the soul would be to not have any spiritual consciousness and practically no consciousness at all, like bacteria body or ant body. I mean, to me, that would be like like a death
Yes.
of consciousness.
Yes.
Consciousness and the soul are one and the same. So when you take your consciousness and bring it down to the point where it's barely manifest, that's like killing it.
Killing the soul. Perfect. Very good. Thank you. Yes.
Who in one of the prayers by Narottam Das Thakur, he says that if we are not worshipping Radha Krishna, then we are giving poison to our life. That's also
Very good. Very good.
It's drinking poison.
Yes. 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 Thank you. Very good.
trying to become one with God. Sadhya Mukti.
Very good. Very good. Like killing of the soul. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, killing of the soul. Like, explain. It's no contradiction. It's not a contradiction. Bhagavad said, and the Isopanishad is saying, it is not a contradiction. If persons who are not utilizing this form of life for Krishna consciousness is a killer of the soul. Like killing the soul, because the soul is not engaged in what it's supposed to do. What do I mean by the killer of the soul? So this verse, this mantra 3, you can see it in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 23, text 56. Canto 3, chapter 23, text 56, 56. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 13, 123. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 17, 185. And Bhagavatam 10th Canto 87, verse 22. This verse, you have similar verse. It's not written there. For your reference. So you're going to give class on this verse. You can add this to your, you have a very rich class to give. Did you get all?
Who can you repeat once again?
Canto 3, chapter 23, text 56. Bhagavatam. Canto 10, chapter 87, text 22. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 13, chapter 123 verse 123, 1, 2, 3. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 17, text 185. They're similar to this verse. So you can add this verse there. You have a very big lecture to give. A human life is distinguished from animal life on account of its heavy what? Responsibility. We're responsible for what we do. So we should accept responsibility. That's human life. Those who are cognizant of these responsibilities and work in that spirit are called suras, the godly. And those who are either neglectful of their responsibilities or who have no information about them are called the asuras or demons, irresponsibility. This material world is sometimes compared with an ocean, and this human body is compared with a solid boat designed to cross over the ocean. The Vedic scriptures and the acharyas, or saintly teachers, are compared with the expert boatman. And the facilities of human body are compared with favorable breezes, which can help the boat smoothly ply to the desired destination. If, with all these facilities, a person does not fully utilize his human life for several reasons, he is such an asura, must be considered Atma, the killer of the soul. The killer of the soul is destined to enter into the darkest region of ignorance, to suffer perpetually. And here is a warning by Sri Isopanishad in clear terms. So that is the killer of the soul. The Vedic scriptures and acharyas they are what? What are they? The Vedic scriptures and acharyas, or saintly persons, they are what? How do you call them? It's inside. I just read it now. I just read it. It's in the purport.
Expert boatman.
Yes, expert boatman. Good. And the facilities of human body, this human body is compared to the breeze, favorable breeze, which can help the boat smoothly fly to the desired destination. So we have the scriptures, we have the human body, we have the acharya, the teachers, the bona fide teachers. If we don't take full advantage of these facilities and make our life successful, we are considered killers of the soul. Cognizance of responsibility and works in the spirit. What are they called? Sura. What is their aim? Lotus feet of Krishna. Why should we be godly? Because human form of life is rare, not common, not easy. Facility for comfortable life. Therefore, we should take full advantage. If we don't take full advantage of these facilities, we are considered killers of the soul. Why is man given a better life than the swine and other animals? Why is a highly placed servant given all the facilities of comfortable life rather than an ordinary clerk? The answer is that the highly placed officer has to discharge duties of a higher nature. Similarly, the human being has higher duties in life than the animals, who are engaged always in the business of feeding their hungry stomachs. It's a big problem that the whole world is not listening to Sri Isopanishad. Don't have access to Sri Isopanishad. We're not hearing what Sri Isopanishad is teaching. So we're not rectifying our life and becoming godly. The modern soul killing civilization, my proper use is what is very, very serious, powerful. The modern soul killing civilization has only increased the problems of a hungry stomach. We approach some polished animal, Prabhupada, a modern civilized man, and he says that He wants to work for the satisfaction of the stomach. And there is no necessity for self-realization. That he is honest to see that. All the struggles we have in this material world, all the struggle, we are struggling seriously, that makes us to forget about self-realization. What benefit do you get from it? What do we benefit from activities which are making us to forget about self-realization? If you look at it very carefully, what do we gain from it? Only suffering. It's only suffering. What do you think? Self-gratification is what? Suffering. It's only suffering you get from self-gratification. Nobody becomes fully satisfied from self-gratification. It's only suffering. That's what we are working so hard for. To die quickly and go to hell. Yes, Prabhu?
It's mentioned in the third word.
Yes.
And those who are neglectful of these responsibilities or who have no information of them are called asuras.
Yes.
Who have no information. So that is something who is unaware. If someone is unaware, that is also called asuras.
Yes, why not?
But nobody has given the knowledge to him, or maybe he is totally unaware about this the spiritual knowledge. So should we call them asuras?
There is no time Krishna has never given Bhagavad Gita to the human society. There is no time Krishna has not given his acharyas, his representative. No time. They are always available. Always available. Even before we get to know Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita has been with the Raja Rishis. There's no time Bhagavad Gita is not there. There have never been any time in history that Krishna has not made arrangement for any one of us to become Krishna conscious. That time doesn't exist. Always Krishna has made arrangement for us. There's so many arrangements Krishna has made. So many. One story in the Bible. One man, he just left the body. And when he met Yamaraj, Yamaraj passed his judgment. He will go to hell. Then he said, please, can you give me 1 minute? Let me go and tell the people that hell is real. Just 1 minute, I'll come back. Yamaraj said, no. No. They don't believe. So let me go and tell them that I have seen it with my own eyes. Yamaraj said, no. You have come here, you cannot go back there. You have to go forward. So you cannot go back there. No, let me just help them. Yamaraj said, you cannot help them. Those who will accept your help, they will hear from those already there. Krishna has already made arrangement. If they cannot hear from them, they can never hear from you also. What is so important in you that they will accept when they cannot accept those already there? So the chance has been given to every living entity, to have association with Krishna. We deny it. So it's not the fault of Krishna, not the fault of our acharyas. It is not. It is our own fault. So I cannot justify it. Yeah, I didn't hear about Krishna, so how can you punish me? Why I didn't hear about Krishna? Because I don't want to hear. You know, because they are not there. Is it not? A few years ago, I was in a train, and so many devotees also there in the train. And this is a lady was sitting in the front where I was sitting. 5 times devotee came, gave her books. 5 times she refused. She didn't take. I was watching the whole thing. We were sitting together, so I was watching the whole thing. 5 times devotee came, different groups of devotees inside the train. Came and met her. Every group that came by, they gave her books, she refused all. So when she was about getting down, so she came to me, Maharaj, give me a blessing. I said, Mataji, 5 times Krishna sent blessing to you, you refuse. So which one are you asking? You know, Maharaj, give me a blessing. Give me a blessing. So can she say that Krishna didn't show her mercy? What's the blessing she's asking? That is our situation. Krishna has always made arrangement for us, always. But we are very, very stubborn. We don't want to get us. We don't want to get it. That's our problem. Yes, Prabhu.
Before Prabhupada went to the West.
Yes.
Before Prabhupada went to the West or any parts of the world, outside India also, people, they had Bhagavad Gita, but not as it is. So they had no opportunities to know what is the instructions of Sri Krishna. So all these people, though you have not followed the instructions of Krishna, are they considered as asuras?
According to what Prabhupada has written here, yes. In the sense, Prabhupada used the word sura and asura. Means what? The godly and the ungodly. That's the sense. Prabhupada used the word here, asura. In another place, it means a different thing. But in this case, if those who are not godly, they are asuras. Those who are godly, they are asuras.
Devotee or demon?
Only
2 options, devotee or demon?
Yes, devotee or demon. That's it. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada wrote one sentence in this purport that is like the essence of why all educational systems in the world are completely failing, turning humans into the lowest of animals.
Yes.
He wrote, "The soul obtains a human form after an evolution of many millions of years
Yes.
in the cycle of transmigration."
Yes.
He's describing how rare it is to have a human body.
Yes.
You have one short period of time in the human body, and then you go back into the lower parts of the evolutionary cycle, and you have to wait many millions of years before your soul evolves into a human body again. That sounds like killing the soul to me.
Yes. Yes. 900 species of aquatics. 900,000 aquatic life. And all of us sitting here, we have passed through it. How many times, I don't know. That's for aquatic life alone. 900,000. 1.1 million species of insects. How many times we have gone through? How many? Uncountable. 2 million plants and trees. 1 million birds. 3 million animals. And 400 humans. We have passed through how many times? So it is human form of life is very rare, very, very rare to get it. Very rare to get. So yes, we are killers of our souls. That we are going through the cycle, and the cycle, and the cycle, and the cycle. How many times you have gone rotating through all these? And in each of them, what are we doing? What are we doing in each of them? We should know the reason why in all the purport, the prophet book, all the purport is talking about sense gratification, sense gratification. Even the verse don't talk about it. Sense gratification, sense gratification, sense gratification. Why? Why? Sense gratification makes us to forget our self-interest. I will continue to rotate. Proper mission is to break it. So it's not a mistake that you see sense gratification throughout his books. It is not a mistake. It is deliberate. We are suffering unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. So Isopanishad here is to break it. Break the karma, free us. Remember the definition? Do you remember the definition yesterday? Isopanishad? To loosen. To break the chain of the shackle of material existence and free us. This is what this Upanishad is here for. And Prabhupada is making it easy for us to understand. Kill of the soul. If you don't follow the Isopanishad principle, we are killing the soul. All right? Yes, sir.
When Prabhupada writes sentences like that, we read them and we just go on reading them. We don't take the time to actually absorb.
Yes.
Like, we're thinking this human life may last 80 years. Here he's talking about many millions of years, which is completely outside of our ability to calculate.
Yes.
That we would have to wait many millions of years before we get our next human body.
Yeah.
I'm saying if we're non-devotees. That's extraordinary.
Yes.
That's like the most horrifying thing you could ever imagine. Waiting hundreds of millions of years before you get a human body again? So you really have to pause and absorb what that means, or try to imagine what that means.
Yes.
I can't imagine it.
Yes.
I just know that every morning at Mangalarti, when we chant the first verse, Samsara Dhamma, Nadalita Loka, that's what Prabhupada freed us from. He actually freed us from, this was our future. There's hundreds of millions of years we'd have to go through this evolutionary cycle. He freed us from that. That's we can't repay our debt to someone who freed us from that.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That is why it is very, very, very dangerous and lack of appreciating what the Prabhupada has given to us if we don't attend Mangalarati every day. Very dangerous and lack of appreciation, because you don't really understand what he has done. We should appreciate Prabhupada, not by writing big volumes of books about his activities, just to appreciate what he has done. Follow these principles. Mangalarati is compulsory for everybody. Compulsory. I hope all of you attend Mangalarati every day. All of you? It is compulsory. Too cold? Yeah, I see every day. Yeah, I see every day. That is appreciating what Prophet has done. Stopping off from samsara. That's appreciation. Failure to do that is punishable. Punishable. We'll become insecure. Insecure and be worrying about our future. Which Krishna has already given to us very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. Very clear. The future of devotees, Krishna gave it very clearly, many places in Bhagavad Gita. Many. Anyone remember one? Just one. The destination of a devotee. What's the destination of a devotee? The future of a devotee.
To his abode.
Which verse is that? Which chapter? Let him help you. Let him help.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं तां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all. Okay. From 18 to 8th chapter to which chapter again? Yes, that's what I was looking for. That's the beginning. It begins from 4:9. Yes. So you see, so many places. It remains again. Remain at least maybe 2 again. Yes.
जन्म कर्मच मे दिव्यम येम योवेति तत्त्वं तप्तारियं पुनर्जन्मनेति मामेति सो अर्जुन.
Thank you. That's what. Another one again. Okay. Another one.
It's 8:16. That from top down it's places of misery, but those who come to Krishna never take birth again.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Very good. Another one. Very good. 15th chapter.
Kesam satatayuktanam bhajatam pratipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yanamam upayanti te.
Very good. Chapter 9. Something more? Something more? You see, it is a destination of a devotee. So why are we insecure? Why do we feel insecure? We have not faith. What of 1861? What of 1861?
We are not confident on the quality of a sadhana.
Thank you. Thank you. What of 1861? Anyone remember 1861? No? Can't remember? And another one again, chapter 9. Famous one. The verse. Yes. Yes, that is 1861. The famous one, Krishna repeated 2 times in Gita. Yeah, Manmana. Yes. See, how many have you counted now? So many. And Krishna promised us this. This is Krishna's promise. Why are we still insecure? Because we are not appreciating what Prabhupada has given to us. We should learn how to appreciate what he has given. Compulsorily attend Mangalarati. Yes. We are given this human form of life not to work hard like the ass and swine and dog, but to attain the highest perfection of life. It's Krishna consciousness. Yes. If we do not care for self-realization, it is by the law of nature that we have to work very hard, even though we do not want to do so. In this age, the human being has been forced to work hard like the ass and the bull pulling carts. These are some of the examples of the regions where an Asura is sent to work, revealed by this verse of Isopanishad. Do you understand? You understand what Prophet is saying? No? According to the question he asked. Do you understand? See, let me repeat. These are some of the examples of the regions where an Asura is sent to work, revealed by this verse of Isopanishad. Which region? One who is working like cat and dog is what? Asura. The way properly speaking is saying it. It's an Asura. We don't need to have a 10 head like Ravana to be Asura. You see, this properly is saying. If a man fails to discharge his duties as a human being, he is forced to transmigrate to the planet called Asuria in the degraded species of life. It's Asura. To work hard in ignorance and darkness. That's Asura. It's proper translation. It's Asura. One should work simply for Krishna satisfaction. Suchi means a spiritually advanced Brahmana, and Srimata means a Vaishya, or members of the mercantile community. This means that such fallen candidates are given a better chance for culturing self-realization on account of their sincere effort in past lives. If the fallen candidates are given the chance of taking birth in respectable, noble families, we can hardly imagine the state of those who have completely achieved success in the attempt. Simply to make an attempt for realizing God is a guarantee that the next birth will be in a noble family. But those who do not make any such attempt at all, and who want to be covered by illusion, too materialistic, and attached to material enjoyment, must enter into the darkest region of hell, as is confirmed in the Vedic literature. That's Asura. It's Asura. Who goes to hell? A devotee? A devotee never goes to hell. Only Asuras go to hell for neglecting the opportunity Krishna has given to us.
Well, it sounds like it's describing the aquatic species living in total darkness, freezing cold, no consciousness, and being hunted by bigger fish.
Yes.
That's darkest region of hell that I can imagine.
Yes. The problem is that now we are sitting on this body, we have forgotten that we have had this experience. We have forgotten it. That's the problem. So it feels like everything is normal. Now it's normal. So even if I don't talk to God, it's normal. One devotee was asking me, what is the problem if I don't make advancement? What's the problem? That is my problem. I said, you should not be worried about if I don't make advancement. I say, if you don't make advancement, it's a problem. Not only for you. If you don't make advancement in our Krishna consciousness, we are going to become a problem for those who are making advancement. Naturally, we are going to envy those who are making advancement. And we also be choking the planet. So we have to make advancement, we have to move forward. After all, this is a movement. It's a movement, so you have to move. If you don't move, you'll be miserable. If you stand in a very busy place, just stand in one place, what will happen? You're in a very busy place, thousands of people from all directions, but you just stand in one place. How will you feel? Peaceful. You're miserable because people will kick you from all directions. People will kick you. You will not be happy. So if we don't move, we will not be happy. It's a movement. You have to move forward positively in Christian consciousness. So Isopanishad is giving us the direction how to move. Follow the direction of the Vedas. And the Vedas is explaining everything belongs to Krishna and they should never be misused. They should be used in Krishna's enjoyment. That is our salvation. Such materialistic asuras sometimes make a show of religiousness with the ultimate aim of material prosperity. The Bhagavad Gita, however, rebukes them as men called great on the strength of false perfection, empowered by the vote of the ignorant and by material world. Such asuras, devoid of self-realization and the conception of Isha, the Lord, are sure to enter into the darkest regions. The conclusion is that we are not meant only for solving economic problems on the thought-teaching platform, but we are also meant for solving the problems of the material life in which we have been placed by the conditions of nature. If you neglect the human responsibility and have no information, we are called Asura, or the killer of the soul. What is the characteristics? You don't make any attempt in self-realization. Whose fault is that? Whose fault that I'm not making an attempt to be God conscious? Whose fault? God's fault. Right? It's the fault of God. Why did He make you to know your sins? Some people say that when God called you, what can you do? So God has not called me yet. I'm waiting. The moment He calls me, I'm there. God is calling everyone every time. Every time. There's no time Krishna is not calling any one of us. Every time He's calling. What is His duty sitting with us in the heart? What is Krishna's duty sitting as the super soul here? What is He doing here? What is His duty? Yes. To help us to remember Him and to help us to forget Him also if you want. He's a very kind friend. Very kind friend. Very, very kind. Although the Supreme, but see what He's doing, He does not impose anything on us. That is the way love functions. There's no force. There's no force there. So it is not that He's not calling. It is we who are not interested. We don't make an attempt in self-realization. So what is that? We want to be covered by illusion. Materialistic and attached to enjoyment. So materialistic in our consciousness. Very much attached to sense gratification. So Prabhupada is hitting on that. Sense gratification. Very dangerous. Yes, Prabhu.
Apologize for this. Sometimes when we are preaching, people are saying if God is sitting inside, then why God is not just like a father behaving for a child, for his child. Suppose child is eating chocolate, then the father is saying, no, this is not good. Take this. Deliberately he slaps sometime and removing the chocolate, throwing away, and giving him the good food. And then child eats it, and after that child is habituated in eating good food. So sometimes, so people are saying, why not God is doing like that?
He's doing it. God is doing that. Is God not doing? What is the scripture about? What is scripture about?
Then why we are again fallen soul? Why we are still a fallen soul?
See the screen. Papa said it in the purport. See the screen. Materialistic consciousness and attachment to sense enjoyment. That blinds us from our self-realization. That's the problem. There is no time. Krishna has never sent his representative. At all times, even outside the Vedic culture, Krishna has been sending people. Muhammad was sent, Jesus was sent, many other people were all sent. All the saints were all sent all the times. Not just this time, all the time. How many acharyas have come? How many? Countable. But what do we do with them? All the acharya Krishna sent here, what do we do? How do we treat them? Find fault in them. Is it not true? We find a lot of fault. We don't accept it, we don't keep to the instruction, the promise we give to them. So many devotees are not chanting Sisiram after initiation. I want devotee asking, Guru, Guru there. You know I'm not going to keep me. Why do you give me initiation? Why? You're supposed to know. A devotee is acting like that. Is that sincerity? If the Guru tells him you are not qualified, how will he feel? How will he feel? Guru tells him, Prabhu, you are not qualified for initiation. Wait for next year. How will he feel? He will blaspheme. He will blaspheme. See, these Krishna people will have to wait for 12, 20 years before I get initiation. Let me go to where I will get it immediately. Is it not happening? It's happening. Many Krishna devotees are joining other people because they can easily get initiation there. Or joining is going, they are going to wait for many years. You go to do IDC course, you have to do this, you have to do that. If I go to that side, I will just get it. So people are leaving to go and get it easily. And then when we do, to encourage, why do you give me? Why do you give me? You know I'm not qualified. Why do you give it to me? Should I refuse me? So what to do? What to do? If you do A, you are blamed. If you do B, you are blamed. What to do? Do what is necessary. That's all. And we move forward. This is what we're doing. Krishna has always made arrangement for us. We are very stubborn. I had, Prabhu can confirm, this is what I had. That, yes, Prabhu.
I understood his question of why isn't Krishna at least giving us better hints to make the right choices. The fact is that Krishna is giving us so many hints, so many opportunities, But the nature of our false ego and our envy of God and our stubbornness to stay in the material world, to stay separated from God in spite of all the hints He gives us.
Yes.
How else can you explain that you came into the universe 150 trillion years ago when it began, and we're still here? You realize how stubborn that must be?
Yes. Really
We've had
stubborn.
150 trillion years of experiencing misery. We're still here. So it's not that Krishna's fault is that he's not giving us enough hints.
Yes.
It's that we're not acting on them. We're too stubborn and envious and hateful. I don't know what else could explain why I'm still here.
That's it.
Hare.
That's it. Hare Krishna. That's it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Okay.
So that's why I compare living entities as a child, because living entities is just like unaware of all these stubbornness and the whatever our consciousness is. So they are totally like a child. So that's why I used as a child. Why God is not behaving as a father, slapping, throwing out all these nonsense and bringing them to the good platform.
You want to have sex.
Yes.
You do. You want to have sex. So God will give you the body of an animal that can have sex, or a bird or a pigeon.
Yes.
That can have so much more sex than a human could ever have. He's giving you what you're asking for.
Yes.
Yes, you're a child, but you're insisting on, and Krishna's giving.
Every time.
Yes.
Every time. In all species, right? He's doing that. Very good. Asura is not a species, it is a mentality. Even so-called civilized humans can be asuric or demoniac based on their mindsets. In Ramayana, there is war between humans and Rakshasa species. In Mahabharata, though the war is between humans, same species, and Duryodhana and his party are called demoniac. Is that? Different types of asuras are explained about Gita 7:15. Ramam Duskritana Buddha. That's what they want to say. They're different varieties. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sri Isopanishad ki. Sri